Hey there, welcome to a brand new edition of Football Everyday, coming to you as usual, live and direct from the studios of Menara Star. My name is Nelsen, and joining me today, K. Anand, Brian Martin, and Sean Orange. Guys, it's great to be back. Great to have you back as well. So let's start with your thoughts in general of the BPL season so far. Sean, it's about 8 games old. So what do you think of the season so far?
Yeah, so far it's been quite exciting in the sense that a lot of goals have been scored and some close games. Been a few surprises for me. One of them is Newcastle. I see Newcastle, they're not doing too bad, sitting up with the big boys. I'm surprised that they're ahead of Liverpool, though. Beyond that, I'd say Manchester City is the team. Absolutely.
Why am I not surprised? Right? Yeah. Well, okay, so the big game of the weekend saw Man United come back for a 1-1 draw against arch rivals Liverpool. Brian, you're itching to talk on this, right? So what do you make of United's performance on the whole?
Disappointment overall. That was my...
you predicted a United win, right?
Yeah, I predicted a United win, but actually the game itself was a disappointment. United, of course, played badly, but Liverpool missed a great opportunity. If I was Kenny Dalglish, looking at Sir Alex's starting lineup, dropping Rooney, dropping Hernandez, dropping Anderson, dropping Vidic, I would have gone for the jugular.
Yep.
But Dalglish took the easy way out. He chose to play 5 across the middle, just like United, and I think that inevitably strangled the game.
They cancelled each other out.
Out.
Undeserved result, you think? Or should
to be fair, Liverpool should have won the game. Liverpool had the upper hand, and they could have finished them United off. United came to defend. Basically, you leave out Rooney and Hernandez. You're definitely there to just park the bus to some extent. Yeah.
So United would be happy with the draw then. Well, okay, another unsurprising result. Saw Sean's noisy neighbours quite easily pick off Aston Villa by 4-1. Look, even without the likes of David Silva, Dzeko, and Aguero in the lineup, City were too good for Villa, right?
Absolutely. City, I reckon, the team to beat. And I reckon they'll win this weekend. Right. But let me just make a small point.
We'll get to that a bit later.
They haven't scored less than 2 goals in only 2 games that they've played in the league. Now, I think if you bring that stat into the equation, then we're talking about a football team that's playing football now.
But then when you take into account that they haven't played with any of the big 4, then the statistics doesn't really hold water. They haven't played with United, they have not played Chelsea, they have not played Liverpool. Yeah. They have played with relatively weak opponents.
Fair enough, but if you're a championship team, then you have got to, when you play like you consider this the lesser teams, then that's what you do to them. You hit them for 3, you hit them for 4, and you hit them for 5.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens when they come up with the big boys.
Alright, looks like you can't wait to get into the debate, right? But over at the Emirates, Arsenal ground out a 2-1 win over Sunderland thanks to a splendid brace from Robin van Persie.
Of course.
And then I'm sure you'd be happy, with the Gunners' resilience to come back and all. But
relieved,
how important is it for Wenger to hang on to RVP?
Without a doubt. He's the only leader in the team now, I would say.
But there are a lot of captains. Fabregas was the leader.
When Fabregas is gone, now he's the only leader in the team now. So there's no doubt that his importance now. He's come into age of scoring and maintaining his fitness, as he has declared himself. He's never felt fitter than and going through the international matches last weekend as well, he came through unscathed. So I think he's coming through a very good patch now. And if the others can stand up and take their own responsibility of measuring up to what the quality of the team should be like, then I think we can just go uphill from now. It was a very touchy kind of win because they could have really done it. Previous seasons, I would say, a team managed by a former United player, it normally tends to be very rough, but they managed to just get that goal. It's a free kick goal. Why not? We'll take it. We don't often score from free kicks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of resilience, Brian, Newcastle, as Sean said, showed they're not to be taken lightly this season, right? As they twice came back from a goal down to draw 2-2 with Spurs. And this one had most of us predicting that, the Magpies would lose, right? So what do you make of that result?
But not me. I thought they would actually get a result, so I was proven right. But at the same time, I probably owe an apology to Alan Pardew because, when Joey Barton left in the summer, joining QPR, I thought that was a huge mistake.
Right.
I thought Joey Barton was the guy who actually held the team together, but Pardew has proven me wrong. I see a lot of teamwork in that team. I see a lot of working for each other. Work ethic is there, and good luck to Newcastle. I think they're
better. To be fair, the Newcastle team without Joey Barton seems to have flourished better now. They're playing even more creatively. Yeah, so it's a good move. He left into the season, not
into the season.
Right. Well, quick one. Sean, another result, at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 3, Everton 1. Kind of we expected this result as well?
I would think so, because Everton are not as good as they should be, or as we know they could be. And Chelsea are beginning to show smoke.
All right. Okay, great stuff, guys. But it is time for a quick break on Football Everyday. But we'll be right back with the debate on this weekend's exciting matches, so do stay tuned. Welcome back to Football Everyday with me, Nelsen, Anand, Brian and Sean, of course. So getting right into this weekend's games, let's start at Anfield, where Liverpool welcome newly promoted Norwich. I mean, Anand, the Canaries gave United a run for their money a couple of weeks back, and they beat Swansea last weekend at home. So
yeah, but it's Liverpool at home. It's Liverpool at home. They've got the momentum. They've got the focus. No other distractions. I do believe Liverpool can easily overcome Norwich.
Big one this weekend involves Man United yet again with Manchester City, in the Manchester Derby, round 1, taking place at Old Trafford. Brian, United, as we said, weren't impressive against Liverpool, though Rooney scored a brace in midweek, Champions League action. So
penalties.
What are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, like Anand said, it was 2 penalties. But I think this one is going to be an extra spicy affair simply because City are on top. How often do you go into a Manchester Derby with City on top and United win 2 points behind? It's going to be a little bit of spice there. I fully expect the referee to be flashing his cards, hopefully yellow, not red, and hopefully the direction of Sean's team.
Oh, for sure, that's guaranteed.
Right, well, City also notched their first Champions League win of the season, in midweek with Kun Aguero, coming back with a bang. So, Sean, would you agree with Brian?
I'd agree in the sense that it will be, the spicy issue will be there. I wouldn't agree with him that United is going to win, obviously.
Right.
But the Aguero factor could well have the key bearing on how the game will turn out.
But he's carrying a bit of an injury, and that's the reason why Mancini waited to put him on, I think only after the 70th minute in the Champions League. So I don't know if he's going to be 100% fit.
I don't think Mancini would kind of like try and waste him in the Champions League. Because while the Champions League is one of the focuses of the team, the Premier League is the focus. Okay. So you got to draw a comparison, if you could, like to the Gerrard Liverpool issue. So you keep him fit and bring him against, you have him ready for United.
Okay.
Right.
And this, I think, will be much the same.
Okay, Anand, your quick thoughts on the Manchester Derby?
I think they've got too much fibre. City, as what Sean has mentioned earlier, the scoring rate, the work rate now is really increased at such a level. And United have got their flaws. It's not as though it's the best United team out there.
Absolutely.
That to be fair. Yeah. So defensively, they've showed their weakness, and I do believe that City can take the upper hand this weekend.
Okay. That's a shock.
All right.
That kind of prediction for one. That's a shock.
Give me a quick prediction then, Brian.
2-1 United.
Sean?
3-1.
To United.
Yeah. No, to City, of course. Absolutely not.
Okay, over at Loftus Road, Queen's Park Rangers play host to informed Chelsea. Brian, can Tony Fernandez's team upset the odds against the Blues?
Are you kidding?
For their first home win of the season, or is this a foregone conclusion?
I think Chelsea is going to be a little bit too strong for QPR. They've been disappointing their last 2 matches. Drawing at home to Blackburn when the match was there for the taking, losing 6-0 the previous week. So, I still don't think that Neil Warnock is the right fit for QPR. I think with Tony Fernandes on board, he's got to look at some other manager. You heard it here first. I'm saying David Beckham, player manager for QPR next season.
Okay, Sean, would you agree with Brian's assessment of QPR? Their chances against
the Warnock issue, I agree with. Personally, and I hate to say this because Warnock's quite an outspoken fella.
Right.
But I don't think he's good for the Premier League.
Right.
Championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Chelsea going to win this one.
Oh, definitely so.
Easily.
All right.
Definitely.
Okay. And then quick one from you on Arsenal at home to Stoke. We knew they struggled against Sunderland last week.
Yeah.
So can they finally put in a convincing performance at the Emirates?
Well, as I said, they are on the uptrend now. So I think they should win the game.
Right.
That is something that they got motivation to do.
Right.
Both, if I'm not mistaken, Stoke is playing the Europa League this week as well, Thursday. So that'll be a factor for both teams. So it depends on how Wenger balances his team, his roster between tonight's game and the one on Sunday. But Stoke travels and their Europe exploits, I think, will give the advantage to Arsenal for sure.
I think he's been watching DVDs of the 2003 season.
Oh.
Uptrend.
Yeah.
What
Uptrend.
uptrend? There's no uptrend. Arsenal has been struggling from day one.
I knew you were going to say something about the word uptrend. Okay, well, thanks for your thoughts, guys. But to find out more about what our columnists have to say, make sure to check out this weekend's This is Football, This is War section, alright? Well, Anand will show you what it looks like. It's brand new. We've got like 4 columns and 4 columnists, and as well as predictions from some top CEOs out there, so do check that out this week. Also, we've launched a brand new contest, alright, with monthly prizes from Tiger FC, Adidas, and Senq up for grabs, along with, get this, FA Cup final tickets, thanks to Astro and Emirates, right? So guys, do log on to football.thestar.com.my for more info. If you'd like to drop us a line as well, send us an email at football@thestar.com.my. Well, that about wraps up this week's episode of Football Everyday. So, guys, thanks again.
Thank you.
Do enjoy
Thank you.
football, and we'll see you real soon.
Because of the Olympic Games or what?
I'm not sure, Brian.
Which one?